Hello friends, welcome back to the ET Guitar YouTube channel. We've got another pickup comparison today. So really stoked, joined by my buddy Rusty here. You guys have seen him on the channel before, just in various epic videos with crazy gear between our collections and then other people's. It's just a good time. But I recently did a pickup swap in my 335. I'll put a link in the description if you're curious. And I had everything set up, and Rusty just got some new pickups for his Les Paul. So I was like, bring it over, let's do the swap, and let's compare them. So that's what this video is. We'll talk more about the guitar, the setup, the pickups, all of that after you guys hear it. I'll have a little colored dot in the corner that will represent each set of pickups. And then, yeah, go ahead, take a listen. Afterwards, we'll hear what you think. Okay, that was super interesting being in the room. Now, neither of us have heard the recordings yet through the microphones. Rusty's got to go, so he's not even going to be able to hear it, and I'll have to do the editing another day. So it's a little unfortunate because I'm very curious to see how it sounds through the microphones. Obviously, you guys just heard it. So we had two different colors, you know, representing two different pickups. Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Did you hear a difference? Did you not? Was it a big difference, a small difference? We'll give you a chance to comment. Go ahead. And while you're doing that, Rusty, let's just kind of intro what the two pickups are.
So the first pickup set is the stock Gibson Alnico 3 Custombuckers that come in like any historic Les Paul 335, just regular Gibson historic pickups. The second set is a set of Throbak. I believe the model is SLE-101. We'll put a link in the description to the exact model. But the guitar is a 2022 R8 that's been refinished by historic makeovers, but all the other electronics are stock, just doing a pickup change.
Cool. So I will make the stock Custombuckers the orange set, and the blue set will be the Throbaks. So there you go. There's the reveal. I have no idea. You have no idea just from the microphones. So let's talk a little bit about what we heard in the room. But first and foremost, what is the amp we're playing? Because this is your amp as well.
This is an orange custom shop hand-wired AD50. It's just a very like down the fairway British sounding amp. Sounds great with Gibson guitars. We thought it was a good candidate for this video. It's very honest. You know, there's not a lot to it.
Yeah, and the speaker, the cabinet is a Friedman Cab 112, and the speaker is the new Celestian 100 Alnico, which again we thought would be kind of a cool pairing. So there you go. Rusty, what did you hear?
I think what I hear is that the Throbaks are a little bit woodier. They shave off just the tiniest little bit of the high end in a good way. The guitar's still got a lot of fidelity. I'm thrilled. I think they sound a lot better, and this guitar already sounded great. It's my favorite guitar. And going into this process, I was a little bit worried.
Yeah.
Like, was I going to make it worse? Because why should you modify something that you already really love? But we're guitar players. We always want to push it that little bit farther. And, John at Throbak makes some really amazing stuff, and he's winding these things on the original winding machines that Gibson used. And my whole inspiration for this guitar was to try and get as close as I could to an original Gibson burst. That's why I refinished it from historic makeovers. And, I think I'm really happy with the result. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Sorry about the playing. I'm not a pro like Tanner, but
I'm not a pro by any means, but you did great. One thing, I don't know if it'll be in this video or another video. I'm not sure I'm going to do it yet, but the final kind of thing we did is we played through every Les Paul here between my collection and your collection. Yeah. And so I think it's actually muddied a little bit my interpretation of the pickups because we just played like 5 Les Pauls back to back. So it's hard for me to say what I heard as a difference. Immediately I felt like I think I preferred this set, but I don't know if I can necessarily explain why. Your guitar was one of my favorite reissue Les Pauls I've ever played prior to the pickup swap. Custombuckers are really interesting. I played a few reissues that sounded superb with them in it. Your guitar is included in that category for me. And my personal gold top with the Custombuckers, the stock Custombuckers, I didn't think sounded nearly as good as yours does. And so going to the Throbaks was interesting. I felt like the neck pickup was the immediate standout for me, that I immediately, for something about it resonated, something in the mids maybe, that I was like, oh wow, I really, really dig that. The bridge sounded nice and clear and bright. I believe the bridge is hotter in the Throbak set versus the Custombucker set, just a little bit.
The pickups we took out of it measured more or less identically.
They were both 8K pretty much on the dot for neck and bridge. The neck on this was like 7.5 and bridge was about 8, somewhere in that range.
Right. And just for what it's worth, we mirrored the pickup heights that were in it before. Just because we're crunched for time. But
same strings too.
Right. Same exact strings, not same type. Like we didn't take them off.
Yeah.
So we were trying to do this as reasonably scientific as we could. In Tanner's garage with a time crush.
Yeah. It's worth reiterating too. Like we're guitar nerds. We enjoy going down the rabbit hole and just experimenting for ourselves. Somebody might say this is the best, this is the best. We like to find out for ourselves, test against the real vintage stuff when we have the opportunity, try and experiment with it. So, we understand that's not the norm for everybody. And this guitar is, it's a passion project of turning it into, something that's as close as he can get to a burst. And the guitar is fantastic. It's such a good Les Paul.
Yeah, we were fresh off a hangout with our buddy Colin, who is gracious enough to bring down some of his 50s examples of, real PAFs. So, we were just sitting here having the opportunity to play these things back and forth. And it takes a few times being exposed to these guitars to kind of train your ear to listen to what's different about an old guitar versus a new guitar, a PAF versus a replica, an old Marshall versus a reissue Marshall. Like it really does take a little bit of time to train your ear in on what the differences are. And I will say that even though the guitar sounded great before, I do hear the differences that I would have expected to hear in like a more accurate vintage pickup, So these get my endorsement. They're not cheap, but, I think given the chance, I'd do it again.
Well, when you're investing like this much into a guitar, it's not like you're putting those in an Epiphone or something. This is a nice reissue that you took the time to, have refinished by Historic Makeovers. The finish is incredible on it, by the way. They did such a good job on it. So, it kind of, something about Les Pauls too. I've got another customer Les Paul here that I was working on, and he did a bunch of, the fancy bridge and all that sort of stuff. It's just fun. It's just fun. There's nothing wrong. Guitar is supposed to be fun.
I think the pickup covers I don't know how it's coming out on camera, but I think the pickup covers that Throbak do are just...
really good.
Just ace.
Well, I'm incredibly curious to hear what you guys have already heard. This will be fun to do in the edit. So yeah, we'll go ahead and end here. Relevant links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, see ya.